The lecture hall aboard the Celestine Scholar, a sleek, all-black vessel orbiting a distant star, shimmered with the faint glow of holographic displays. The students, a diverse group of beings from across the galaxy, adjusted their sensory implants to absorb the lecture. Their professor, Dr. Clethera, a multi-limbed scholar with iridescent scales, floated gently above the podium, her voice resonating through the chamber via neural translators. Today, Dr. Clethera began, her scales pulsing with soft blues. We embark on a study of the most confounding species in the known cosmos, humans. Your task is to observe their behaviors, specifically their interactions with substances our databases classify as hazardous. The students, a mix of gelatinous, cuvari, crystalline tethrins, and segmented vordali, exchanged skeptical pulses through their neural links. Humans were a galactic curiosity, fragile, short-lived, yet inexplicably resilient. The idea that they might willingly engage with toxins seemed beyond comprehension. Dr. Clethera projected a holographic list into the air. These substances, ethanol, caffeine, and others are toxic to most organic life. Some disrupt neural pathways, others corrode tissues, and many are lethal in sufficient quantities. Your assignment is to document how humans interact with these compounds on their homeworld, Earth. A Cuvari student, Silith, raised a tendril. Professor, is it true humans consume these substances? Willingly. Dr. Clethera's scales flickered with uncertainty. That is what we aim to verify. Prepare for the field expedition. We depart for Earth at the next cycle. The Celestine Scholar descended into Earth's orbit, cloaking itself to avoid detection. The students, equipped with holographic disguises, to blend into human crowds, disembarked in a bustling coastal city. The air was thick with unfamiliar scent salt from the ocean, exhaust from vehicles, and something sharp and spicy that made Silith's tendrils quiver. Their guide, named Zoroth, led them through a vibrant marketplace. Stalls lined the streets, piled high with colorful produce, steaming pots, and sizzling grills. Humans moved with chaotic energy, shouting, laughing, and eating with reckless abandon. The students' sensory pads buzzed with data, cataloging every molecule in the air. Silith paused at a stall where a human woman, her apron stained with red sauce, offered small, glossy green objects. The scanner identified the substance as capsaicin, a potent irritant. Silith's neural link translated the woman's words, "Try our jalapeno, popper, fresh and spicy." Silith hesitated, her disguise flickering slightly. "This contains capsaicin. It is harmful to organic tissues." The woman laughed, popping one into her mouth. Her cheeks flushed, and a bead of sweat rolled down her temple, but she grinned. "Oh, it's got a kick, but that's the point." Silith's tendrils recoiled. "You consume this for pleasure?" "Yup." The woman offered another. "Want one?" Silith declined, her sensory pad flashing warnings. Nearby, a Vordali student, Kren, observed a man pouring a dark liquid into a cup. The scanner flagged it as ethanol, a neurotoxin. Kren's segmented limbs twitched. "Human, why do you ingest this? It impairs cognitive function." The man, sporting a weathered cap, chuckled. "It's just beer. Relaxes you after a long day. Want a sip?" Kren's ocular slits widened. "You knowingly consume a toxin too. Relax." The man took a long swig, unfazed. "Pretty much." Across the market, Zoroth stopped at a stall selling small brown beans. The air carried a bitter aroma, and the scanner identified caffeine, a stimulant known to disrupt neural stability. A young human barista handed a steaming cup to a customer, who sipped it eagerly. Zoroth's crystalline form shimmered with confusion. "This substance accelerates your heart rate. Why consume it?" The barista shrugged. "Keeps you awake. I'd be useless without my morning coffee." The students regrouped, their neural links buzzing with disbelief. The humans weren't just encountering toxins, they were seeking them out, consuming them with enthusiasm. Silith transmitted her findings. They ingest capsaicin for enjoyment, ethanol for relaxation, and caffeine for alertness. This defies all biological logic. Dr. Clethera, Monitoring from the ship, responded via neural link. This behavior is unprecedented. We must investigate further. Arrange a controlled experiment with human volunteers. A week later, a human delegation arrived aboard the Celestine Scholar. The group consisted of 3 individuals: Captain Elena Marquez, a calm, athletic woman with sharp eyes; Dr. Raj Patel, a biochemist with a quick smile; and Lieutenant Aisha Khan, who clutched a thermos that the scanners flagged as containing caffeine. Dr. Clethera greeted them in the observation chamber, her scales pulsing with cautious curiosity. "We are studying your species' tolerance for hazardous substances. Our data suggests you consume toxins willingly. We seek to understand why." Marquez raised an eyebrow. "You want to know why we eat spicy food and drink coffee? Sure, we're game." The students prepared a series of tests, each involving a substance from the toxic list. The setup included diagnostic pods equipped with advanced scanners to monitor the human's physiological responses. The first test involved a concentrated capsaicin solution, far stronger than the market samples. Patel dipped a piece of neutral bread into the fiery liquid and took a bite. His eyes watered, and his breathing quickened, but he nodded approvingly. "That's intense, but I like it." Silith's tendrils twitched. "You are experiencing pain. Why continue?" Patel wiped his brow. "It's a rush. The burn's part of the experience." The students exchanged stunned pulses. Next, they tested ethanol, offering Marquez a series of increasingly potent samples. She sipped each one, her expression barely changing. After the strongest dose, she leaned back, relaxed, smooth. "Got anything stronger?" Kren segments. Rattled. "Your liver is processing a neurotoxin. This should impair your motor function." Marquez smirked. "Takes more than that to slow me down." Con, meanwhile, was already sipping her coffee during the caffeine test. The scanners showed elevated heart rates and neural activity, yet she remained calm. "This is my 3rd cup today," she said, shrugging. "Keeps me sharp." The students were baffled. The humans weren't just tolerating these substances, their bodies seemed to adapt to them. Dr. Clethera's scales dimmed. "We must analyze their recovery processes. This resilience is unnatural." The humans were placed in diagnostic pods, surrounded by scanners that tracked everything from neural impulses to metabolic rates. The results were staggering. Patel's system processed capsaicin with minimal long-term damage, his pain receptors firing briefly before stabilizing. Marquez's liver neutralized ethanol at an astonishing rate, while Khan's body integrated caffeine as if it were a natural component. Silith adjusted her scanner. Their cardiovascular systems fluctuate wildly, yet they show no distress. Khan, reclining in her pod, chuckled. "That's just my coffee doing its job." Marquez tapped her pod's wall. "Our bodies adapt, push them, and they push back stronger. It's why we train, eat weird stuff, even get sick sometimes. It builds resilience." Dr. Clethera's scales flickered. "You deliberately expose yourselves to harm to increase tolerance." Patel nodded. "Think of it like exercise. You stress a muscle, it grows stronger. Same with our systems." The students were silent, their neural links processing this revelation. The humans weren't reckless, they were strategic, using controlled exposure to toxins to enhance their survival. Hours into the experiment, Patel shifted uncomfortably, rubbing his stomach. The scanners showed elevated acid levels from the capsaicin. Silith's tendrils quivered. "You are experiencing gastrointestinal distress." Patel laughed dryly. "Yeah, spicy food do that. It'll pass." Kren's segments clicked. "You knew this would happen, of course," Patel said. "Doesn't stop me from enjoying it." Marquez's ethanol processing revealed another anomaly. Her liver adapted dynamically, adjusting enzyme production based on the toxin's concentration. "Everyone's different," she explained. "Some handle it better than others. It's why we pace ourselves." Con's caffeine levels, meanwhile, showed no signs of neural overload. "I'm used to it," she said. "Without it, I'd be sluggish." Dr. Clethera's scales pulsed erratically. "Your species integrates toxins into your physiology. You rely on them, Con grinned. Not rely, exactly. But they help. 6 hours into the experiment, Patel groaned, pressing a hand to his abdomen. The scanners showed increased inflammation from the capsaicin. Dr. Clethera stepped forward. You are deteriorating. Patel waved her off. Just need to walk it off. Worst case, I'm uncomfortable for a bit. Silith's tendrils curled. You accept suffering as normal. Marquez nodded. It's part of life. We push our limits, take risks. Sometimes it hurts, but we learn from it. The students recoiled. This wasn't just resilience, it was a philosophy. The humans embraced discomfort, even sought it out, as a means of growth. Dr. Clythera addressed the group. Your biology defies logic, but your mentality is even more perplexing. Why subject yourselves to avoidable pain? Con set her thermos down. Pain's a signal, not the enemy. It tells us what's happening in our bodies. Sometimes, it's just part of the deal. Patel gestured to his scarred hand. This was from a lab accident years ago, hurt like hell, but it healed. We're not invincible, but we're tough. Marquez leaned forward. Ever hear of vaccines? We expose ourselves to tiny bits of disease to train our immune systems. It's the same idea with spicy food or a drink now and then. Small doses, big rewards. Dr. Clitheris' scales dimmed completely. You weaponize suffering, Con laughed. That's one way to put it. The experiment ended, but the students' neural links buzzed with questions. The humans sat casually, unfazed by the tests, chatting as if they hadn't just defied every known biological principle. Dr. Clethera, for the first time in her career, abandoned her analytical approach. Your species, she said, survives not because you are reckless, but because you are prepared. You embrace hardship, adapt to it, and grow stronger. Marquez smiled. Pretty much, we like to be ready for anything. Silith's tendrils twitched. But the consequences, you accept them. Patel chuckled, patting his stomach. I'll feel that jalapeno later, but it's worth it. Kren's segments rattled. You endure suffering for growth. Con nodded. Test yourself, push your boundaries, get knocked down, then get up stronger. That's how we roll. Dr. Clythera stared at the humans, her scales pulsing faintly. The galactic database would need a new entry for humanity, not as reckless anomalies, but as a species that thrived on challenge, turning adversity into strength. The students, their neural links humming with awe, began drafting their reports. The Celestine Scholar would carry this knowledge back to the stars, forever changed by the baffling resilient humans of Earth.